Mark Duda with us here at our Carol and Janelle. We're in the banquet area of pizza capital of the world here. And Coach, a win again. You guys keep doing your thing week in and week out. And a big win against Erie this past weekend. Let's talk about what the game was about and how you guys showed up and got the win and came back home.
It was a heck of a game. You know, we got there, first of all, the wind was blowing about 20 miles an hour. We're in Buffalo, New York. And they were undefeated. They were 4-0 going in. So they had a lot of confidence in the ball game. So we came in and did a great job of getting turnovers. You'll see in a second, we had three interceptions from one young guy and did a good job offensively, kind of controlled the ball. So hard to throw it because it was all over the place, but we did a good job of doing that, and it went in 29-10. And so moved on with our season and beat a really spirited team.
Let's talk about that defensive unit in particular. They've showed up all year. They really have done a pretty good job of shutting some teams down. And what was the game plan going in to slow it down and actually pulling it off? You know, whether it's the wind or guys just stepping up and playing.
Well, we had to make them throw the football. We thought that was going to be our best chance to win the rush to passer. I think we had another 8 or 9 sacks in that game as well. And our DBs do a great job covering people. It's the best defensive backfield that we alluded to that earlier I've had since I've been here in 25 years. So those guys are a fantastic group, and they made great plays on the football. I mean, we returned 180 yards for a touchdown, and it really changed the scope of the game. So the game was pretty even. It's just that, you know, we got so many turnovers, so many opportunities that made the game change.
Putting up 29 points. Let's talk about how some of those points occurred for you.
You know, one of them, of course, on the pick for a touchdown, and other ones, you know, some great routes. You'll meet Mr. Turner here, who caught a couple touchdown passes. They made it hard to run the football. They really stacked the line of scrimmage with a lot of players. So we had to go over the top, and we did, and we're successful in throwing the football one off to win.
Home game. Home game. You got a home game this weekend.
Yeah, it makes me smile. It's our first one this year. We've been on the road for 5, and it's great to get back. We're, you know, at Scranton Stadium. It's going to be a great venue. It's 70 degrees that day. It's supposed to be against a great opponent from ASA Brooklyn. So it has all the makings of a great game.
Let's talk about the scouting report on ASA Brooklyn. I remember we talked about them last year, and here we are here in 2018. What are they going to bring this week?
Always really big physical football team. A lot of Division I bounce-back players. You know, deep. I think a really good defensive football team. Good defensive line, good DBs, good backers. Offensively, you know, they run the football really well, more than most people do. I think 68% of the time. So that's going to be a challenge for us to stop the run. But again, well coached, and it's a good team. Really good matchup for us.
How about defensively? You know, any odd fronts that they play, or do they blitz a lot? Talk a little bit about what you're going to deal with there.
Yeah, they're a 4-2 defense. You know, they have a 4-man line. They like to stunt and twist a lot. Their coach was a former guy who played at Syracuse and also played in the league for a little while, defensive line guy. So he believes in that. So we have to really be sharp in our pass protections. And their DBs are good football players. They're out there, and they can cover man-to-man as well. So they present a challenge. I think whoever makes less mistakes in the ball game is going to win the ball.
Let's talk about our defensive player we're going to talk to tonight, and tell us a little bit about who he is and what he's been about here at Lackawanna College.
You know, it's amazing. You know, we're fortunate to have a lot of good defensive backs, and often freshmen don't play. This kid's a true freshman. Okay, I call him Mr. Brown just to make fun of him, but he's a true freshman. And has played great since the very beginning. Has played corner, does a fantastic job for us. Can pick the ball off. Real physical kid. When you see him, looks more like a safety than a corner, and has had a great freshman year already. So, I mean, I feel he's going to be a Power 5 recruit. I think he'll be a 20 offer guy when it's all said and done, and has really come to the right place for us at the right time. So he's everything you'd want to have in a defensive back. Big, physical, fast kid, and we just love having him.
How about over on the offensive side, our offensive player?
Well, Turner, our receiver, was with us last year as well, from Paramus Catholic, kid from out of New Jersey also. And has had he's been a big catch receiver for us this year. So I think 8 touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. Runs posts, a lot of different things. So he's been a go-to guy for our quarterback, and has been really good. And also a physical blocker as well. So he's a guy who grew up with the program last year and now is really starting to excel.
Coach Duda, always a pleasure to talk with you. Home cooking this weekend for the Lackawanna College Falcons. Welcome home, Coach, and go get them.
It'll be great to be there. Thank you.
Jair Brown with us here from Lackawanna College. We're talking Falcons defense. And Jair, let's talk a little bit about being a part of this defensive unit. Not an easy role to step into. There's some quality guys back there. Talk about competing for a spot and then earning a spot this year.
Competing for a spot. Camp this year was amazing for me. I was able to perform at my best. So was a lot of other guys. Robert Kennedy, a couple other D-backs, Alonzo Mitchell, all of them are great D-backs. And for me to get the #1 spot, I'm truly blessed.
Let's talk about the depth that you have in the secondary. Not only do you have some starters, but if something happens, you got guys that could step right in. So talk about some of those guys pushing every day in practice.
Yeah, that's what it's about. It's about pushing each other in practice. My backups push me. Deshaun Pope pushes me. Alonzo Mitchell pushes me to be better, to be a better player. And you know you had to perform or you can lose that spot at any second.
Let's talk about some of the guys that are veterans back there and what they have done to try to help you out. And you know some of those guys are going pretty high to that next level.
Yeah, Jaquan Brisker is one person who motivates me to be better and better every day. He showed me the ropes when I first got here, and he's been pushing me ever since, and he continues to do that for me. And Andre Blackett, who's our linebacker, he's a great linebacker for us. Another person that brings that energy every game, brings that spirit, that team spirit, and wants to go out there and win. Savion Williams, another guy, Tennessee commit, who's actually by far one of the best defensive linemen I've seen yet since my time playing football, and he's another person that pushes me. So when you got all these great guys that pushes you and motivates you throughout the season, you have to play at your best to perform with those guys.
You talk about your options after high school, and you found yourself here at Lackawanna College. Talk about what it's been like to kind of, you start out the first couple of days. Is this going to work out? Did you know right off the get-go when you got there that this was going to work out, or was it a little bit of a slow process the first couple of weeks?
It was a slow process. I had a lot of adjusting to do. I actually a week later, I actually fell in love with Lackawanna. I liked the way it was set up. I liked the way we practiced and everything. And I was just like, you know what, this is a great fit to me, and I still got that opinion about it to this day. So if anybody thinking about coming to Lackawanna, it's a great fit.
Let's talk about Coach Duda, your relationship with him in a short time. What's it been like? He's got that fatherhood figure, but he's got that coach part where he could be really intimidating, but he could also put his arm around you and be the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah, Coach Duda is actually one of the most interesting coaches I've met so far. He, like you said, he definitely has that father figure to you, and then he can be on you like this. So you try your best not to get on Coach Duda's bad side or anything. But so far so good with me and Coach Duda, and it's been a great pleasure to play under him.
You're a basketball, track and field guy in high school. Talk about being a three-sport athlete and some accomplishments you had in both of those sports.
Basketball, I was actually the #2 defensive player in the state. Slowly lost that #1 spot. Yeah, I did real good in basketball. I was a 4-year varsity starter since freshman with all my sports. Track and field, I was a great high jumper / long jumper and triple jumper. Competed in the states for that too, and had a blessed senior year actually. Did great things on the field and accomplished a lot.
You got a big family, so talk about some of the siblings in your family, what they're all up to.
My mom, my #1 fan. I don't know, it might be between her and my little 3-year-old sister Giselle. But yeah, they battle actually for the #1 spot. If you come to one of the games, they have my shirts on with my number on it. Team Tig, that's my nickname by the way, Tig. So it's a battle between who's my #1 fan out of my mom, my little 3-year-old sister, and my other sister, Jaisha. She kinda is a big fan, but she don't like to show it too much. She's going through that teenage.
Not at age 13, right?
Not at age 13, not at age 13.
All right, and then how about Jay Ron?
Jay Ron, my older brother, he's actually a former football player too. He's a big fan too, but he's older, so he don't really like to be all at me and stuff. But I know he's a big fan. Love him to death. Another great football player. He's going to be playing in the spring somewhere sometime soon.
Nice. Let's talk about that next step for you. And Coach mentioned, hey, who knows where you're going to go. He thinks there's going to be a bunch of offers for you. How excited are you at one point? You still got a lot of work to get done here at Lackawanna College, but you're hoping for the best, right?
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely hoping for the best. I'm not really worried about the offers right now. I'm more focused on improving myself because I feel like I can be a lot better as a player, as a teammate, and just fitting into this program is still what I'm doing. Like, I'm still trying to be the best I can at Lackawanna College right now. So I'm not really into the offer thing. When they come, though, I will be truly blessed.
Well, you could feel that they're coming. But Jair Brown, you keep up the great work at Lackawanna College. We wish you the best of luck the rest of this year and, of course, future successes as well.
Thank you.
Javon Turner with us here from Lackawanna College, continuing the conversation with the Falcons, who come off a victory over Erie. And, Javon, let's talk about the victory this past weekend. They were 4-0. You guys were 4-0. One of you guys came out undefeated. It happened to be the Falcons. What was the game experience like?
Well, we went in there playing a pretty good team, and like we didn't go in there underestimating them because we knew that two undefeated teams, somebody had to come out to win. But to me, the game was fun because it was some tough times. We had to face adversity, and then we knew our defense had our back, and then playing with the offense, like the way we clicked, like just unbelievable.
Tough to throw the ball, but nonetheless, you got to go out and compete. Let's talk a little bit about offensively, some positive things that you guys were able to do.
Well, our offensive line is just fantastic. They block anybody. Then we have good running backs who put us receivers in good positions for us to score. And our quarterbacks did a phenomenal job getting us the ball.
Let's talk about the wide receiver dynamics that you guys have this year and how you kind of fit into that mix with everybody else. You're a tall guy and a fast guy and a good route runner. So take us through.
Well, I'm a returner, so I play both inside and outside. And then we have two good outside receivers, Norvell Black and Jael Negron, two nice frame guys, big outside receivers. Then we have another inside guy, Quentin Sanders, another freshman. He has great hands, great speed. And then me and Harrison Dreher, two returners, and he's a bounce back from Robert Morris. But we're the leaders of the receiver group, and we both know like what we could bring to the table.
Track and field guy back in high school.
Yeah.
Talk about some of the events you competed in.
I ran the 100 and 200 in high jump, but I was good at the one. That was my favorite and made it special. And I ran 10.6 my junior year, and then went on to win states.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Let's talk about your family. You got a few siblings, so take us through what they're all up to.
Well, I have a little brother, Chase. He's my little brother. He plays basketball right now. He's in high school. But hopefully things work out with him for basketball. Then my little sister, Navia, she's pretty good. She's an artist. Like, she can draw her butt off. She's pretty good.
Awesome.
She's better than me. And then my youngest little sister, Janae, she's young. And that's like my best friend.
Ah, that's awesome. 6 years old, Janae.
Yeah.
You're doing well in the classroom at Lackawanna College. How about the adjustment from high school to college? And you know, you got to make time for yourself. You got to make sure you're going to class. You got to follow through. I'm sure the coaches do their job, but ultimately it's going to fall on you, and you got to follow through.
Well, the transition from high school to college was a bit tough at first because I'm in college now, so everything's on my own. I have to make sure I'm up for class. As when in high school, I go from class to class throughout the day. My classes aren't spaced out, so it was tough. But being a returner, dealing with it last year, I'm good.
Your role model is your mom,
Yeah.
and tell us what she means to you and all the things she has done for you and continues to do for you.
My mom means everything to me. My mom's raised me since I was young, since my father passed at a young age. So my mom's been there. She's a strong woman, and I see my mom as a strong person, and I look up to her as a.
How about her coming out and cheering you on when you're playing some football? Is she able to get out to your
My
games?
mom comes to every game, like far, close, every game. My mom's there on the sideline cheering for me.
Well, we're cheering for you as well, and cheering for the Falcons this weekend, taking on ASA Brooklyn. Javon Turner, thank you for your time. Good luck.
Thank you.